breakfast hour. It's a wet, rainy, chilly morning here in the Grand K. I don't know. I love winter or fall apparel. Let me confess right now. I just need an excuse to wear a scarf and the matching boots and all that is warmish. And so I am embracing this morning. Morning, Mikey G.
Good morning, ladies. I don't like the cold. For those who love it, I really don't. I like to see people who enjoy it. But myself, I am very much not impressed with the idea of being cold all the time and have to wear mittens and scarves and all these things. And in 20 degrees weather, or 30 degrees weather, or 40 degrees weather, or 60 degrees weather, I'm not a snowbird at all. So I want to apologize for those who think I should be. So I don't know, but I really don't like the cold. But we realize that there's a cold front that came across the Grand Cayman Islands, and the climate change has caused quite a few things to happen when climate change takes place.
I'm enjoying it, Mikey G. I just confess that I am indeed enjoying it. And so, I had a conversation with someone who says that this signals the end of the hurricane season. He said a
Ah,
northeasterly means that this is the end. I don't know. He is not a weatherman, he's not a meteorologist, but he says this one means that we can breathe a little bit. So while we are enjoying this weather here, other persons are picking up the pieces over in Jamaica, and we'll share a few highlights as the morning goes on. But it's not all about the weather this morning. There is so much more to discuss, Mikey G. So I think we should just take a short break and then get right back in.
all right, well, let's do that at this time. Of course, we want to say welcome to those who are joining us for the first time. Good morning to you, of course. Like, share, subscribe, and of course, hit the notification bell. That whenever one of these programs comes up, you get it first.
Good morning. This is day 13. While Peter thought about the vision, the Spirit said to him, "Behold, 3 men are seeking you." Acts chapter 10, verse 19. Tuned In, written by Dennis DeHaan. God speaks to us primarily through His Word, the Bible. Sometimes, however, He directs in ways we do not expect. Gary Doherty, a co-worker at RBC Ministries, was walking home from church one evening when he saw a young man coming from the opposite direction. A strong urge came over Gary to talk with him about becoming a Christian. He hesitated at first, but then he said to this total stranger, "Pardon me, but I believe God wants me to tell you how to become a Christian." "I just asked my girlfriend's mother that question," said the man, "but she didn't know." "You mean you want to become a Christian?" Gary asked. "Yes, I do," he replied. Still incredulous, Gary asked him again and then shared the plan of salvation with him. That night, a young man met Jesus as his Savior. Some might call this a coincidence, but there's a biblical parallel in Acts 10 with Cornelius and Peter, 2 men who were in touch with God's Spirit. Not all believers have equally dramatic experiences, but if God's Word, prayer, and obedience are a daily part of our lives, we will be tuned in to the Spirit's leading and be ready to convey God's love to others. Father, thank you for your Spirit. Fill us with His love and power. Change us into Christ's own image, day by day and hour by hour. Our quote this morning reads, "When you open your heart to the Lord, He opens your eyes to the lost." End quote.
Good morning. This is day 30.
Good morning. This is day 30.
When you such miracles happen. And you know what I find interesting? I'm in a good mood this morning. I heard from my mom. I actually heard her voice live and direct the first time since Melissa, and it was so refreshing. The simple things that we do take for granted, and even in the midst of all the devastation that is being faced, persons are still able to say, "Thank you, God. Thank you for life." And to those persons who are grieving the loss of loved ones, they are struggling to say, "Thank you, Lord," but they can say, "Thank you, I do have life myself." Now, the breakfast hour this morning, Mikey G, we have persons joining us in studio. Yes, we are not alone. Mike,
Okay, I understand that is true, and of course, I have a bit of acquaintance earlier to say hi, and so I'm eager to hear what we're going to be talking about today, and of course, to extend our greetings and our arms of welcome to our guest this morning. Our guest. When it's one person, let me ask the question. The English language is such a funny thing. When it's like saying you, and then it's you again, and it's all away. Like plenty people, and then it's one, and it's you still. Is it guess, and it's still guess?
guests, and I want to extend a warm flashpoint welcome to our guests in studio. And I don't want to call them guests because they are flashpoint family.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
they are.
I hate when I go to a new congregation and I'm visiting from my another place and they say all visitors stand. I am supposed, but I've never seen my brother or sister come visit me and they say visitors. They say, "Oh, my brother is visiting, my sister is visiting." So I guess
Yes,
this is a principle of which we must extend.
I'm glad you said that because these are family members. They are part of the Flashpoint family. They have been with us from our inception, and certainly they are here to share what's happening in their immediate community. But I won't tell you all of that. I will allow them first to introduce themselves and share what they have to share with us this morning. Welcome, Tanique, and welcome, Roima.
Welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, so go ahead and share with us why you are gracing our studio this morning.
Rahima, would you
Well,
like to start?
we are from the Savannah Seventh-day Adventist Church, the church that never sleeps. And starting off last weekend, we have embarked on what will be our run to the end of the year. So, starting on the 8th, what we did was we entered the community of Countryside and Country Corner, and we touched base with the people live and direct, telling them about all the events we have coming up for the remainder of the year. We kick off on this weekend with our mental health focus, suicide prevention. We end that weekend with our Grand Vesper service, which takes us over into our music Sabbath. And then that takes us all the way to the end of the year with our camp meeting. So lots of stuff happening, lots of stuff to be a part of. So if you're in the community, if you're in the area, if you're further away, make your way over to Savannah so that we can have a wonderful time in Jesus. But this morning we're here to focus specifically on the Vesper service on the music day. And I don't know if you want us to tell you about the theme and what it means to us and all of those wonderful things.
Right. So we'll be having a Vesper service, and before I go into the theme, I could give you a little background. We have dubbed it the For the Cause initiative, And this initiative came about while reading a book on evangelism. And I think it was from Mr. Braham. And I realized that in the book it spoke about departments being commissioned to evangelize. And when I reflected, I realized that our department at Savannah, we were basically focusing internally. And then I started to reflect and wonder what we could have done as a department to impact the community. And this department that I'm speaking about is a committed ministry, which is our music ministry at Savannah. And so we decided last year for our music day that leading up to our music day, we would go out into different communities and to impact, to spread the word, to pray for people, and, just to sing little songs for them, which is what we did. We had children going out singing songs and blessing hearts. And then this year we decided that we're going to continue with that initiative leading up to our music day. And as Rahima said, we started off last Sabbath where we impacted the countryside area. We went out, we handed out flyers, and we prayed for people.
And persons prayed for us as well.
Oh, wow.
Persons were loving what we were doing, loving the ministry, wanting to be a part of it, all of those good stuff.
Amen. And then we have our Vespers on the 16th, which is this Sunday. And here we'll be focusing on the theme, Selah.
Pause and praise.
Pause
Now,
and praise.
when I was a child, I came across this word in the Bible reading, Sister Tani, and as the younger children would read the word Selah, and those older would laugh at us because they'd say, "Don't read that word," and I didn't quite understand it. How I came to process it over time was I saw it as, for those who read sheet music, there are those, those
Right.
symbols that say rest.
Rest.
And I'm looking at it in terms of the Psalms, they're the words or the songs, and at certain points we are to pause and crescendo, right? I think that doesn't quite translate for us because we're not familiar with the word. So I think have a music, sheet music type of thing,
Right.
but something we do in our lives, pause and praise.
Right. So and this is exactly for me too, because I find myself where I'm always on the go, right? So even when you're at work, whenever you're busy, what we're saying is that just don't go through the motions, right? You are doing your work, just stop, pause. And it's not just about pausing. You should pause and reflect on God's words, and this would be like a reset for you, right? And that is what we're saying. Don't just go through the motion, don't just always be busy, right? In that moment, stop, pray, read a psalm, sing a song, and reset your life. That is what we're saying.
Because it's about making it a part of the lifestyle moving forward.
Mhm.
Like we said, Savannah is a church that never sleeps.
Oh, Lord.
However, as believers, we still need to practice what we preach. We need to pause, reflect, and praise. So it's not just, as Connie says, about just rushing through everything. It's about taking time to recognize where we are and why we're there. We're going through a season now where we're looking at what's happening over there in Jamaica, what's happening over there in Cuba and Haiti and parts of Bahamas. How do we in these seasons stop, reflect on God's goodness despite what is happening, and give him praise, a crescendo type of praise,
Right.
because he really is worthy, and we can't separate life as it is from him. He's not outside of it. He's still a part of what we do, and we ought to recognize him for what he does and for who he is despite our circumstances.
Right. And if you want to get all of this experience, this is what we'll be focusing on November 29th, which will be the official music day. This is a day where we'll pause and we'll reflect on God's mercy, God's goodness, God's deliverance, and God's presence within our lives. And as we go through the day, we will get actual moments within the day to stop, to pause, to reflect on all of that I just said, on God's goodness, right? So we invite you just to come along. It's also the day we'll be launching our camp meeting, and it will be a day that is exciting. We'll be having, as usual, our local ministers, and we have a minister from Jamaica,
yes.
right? Ilkaya Jones, who will be here with us to bless the hearts. So just come along and worship with us. It will be a day not of excitement, as we said. It's a day of reflection. It's a day of praise.
And just to backtrack a little bit, as we are in this season, as we mentioned, where people are not doing as well as we'd like to be doing, we'll have health checks on this Sunday afternoon because it's easy to default to worrying and stressing about what is happening, and we can have our numbers going up. It's a good idea to check in to see what's happening with your body. Take that time to pause for health and to then join us for the Vesper service. Additionally, as we move into the different segments of the music day on the 29th, in the morning we'll be having a gator style thing infused with a cantata feel. So if that appeals to you, if you want to just come and sing along with us, that'll be the morning segment. In the midday, we'll have more of a ministry piece, as we always do, because we need the word as well, prayer, prophecy, and praise. And in the evening, we want to look at what is your playlist like? What are you listening to, and how does that affect your ability to pause and to give God praise? So just to plug those pieces in.
I am quite excited. I am listening to the conversation, and what I find most intriguing and exciting is that you have taken it to the community. So often we are in church and we are feeling the blessing and we are so deep in it. And sometimes we forget our mission. Our mission is not just to feed ourselves, but spread this energy and this good news. And I like the energy that I'm getting. It's not just another music day or not just another program. I can see that a lot of thought went into it. And so I'm inviting every single person because you impacted Country Corner last week.
Right.
But Cayman Islands, so those of us who are off island, Cayman Island it's a big enough island, but I can get to Savannah if I am at either end of the island within half an hour or less. So let us go out and be a part of something wonderful. That's what I have to say. Mikey
I
G?
would say, for listening to the conversation, I want to thank Rahima and, of course, Sister Tanik for coming in this morning and having this conversation about this very important aspect of our community and our community efforts that we are making. As we look at the aftermath of the hurricane that we've just seen pass through, as we are referring to it, and the devastation that we see, and how many persons are affected by it, and we are seeing the hurt and the pain that people are going through, and to come at this point to have this in solidarity with them, of course, to our community, and also to thank God for not bringing it to this island as well. That's one way to look at it. But also to be clear that what we see now in our present day, our reality today, is just by God's grace and mercy that we are having this reality, right? And I've spoken to many persons during the hurricane season, after the aftermath of the hurricane in the Grand Cayman, and we were talking a little bit, and some person was saying, if the hurricane came to Cayman, and of course the building structures are much stronger, and I'm saying, oh little mind do you have. Oh, I don't want to use the words that are coming to my mind. I said, God give you a chance, and here you are gloating about your structure that you build and how it is. Nebuchadnezzar, come on, Nebuchadnezzar, you soon eat grass. Behave yourself, man, in the presence of God when He gives mercy to you. I'm happy that the Savannah SDA Church is embarking on such a powerful, I'm going to put it on the screen, Sila praise, of course, on the 29th of November this month, and to see you do this. I am thankful to see young people, youth, go out in the community. I don't want to say young people because it sounds a little different for me when I hear it. I want to say the youth of our society goes out and work with the persons who are the elders of our community that leads the way in ministry and in impacting persons who need Jesus even more now at this time, or understanding of why God has been working, why God killed so many people and mash up so many people's place, and these are the questions that are needed to be answered. And so by us being out there, we would say God did not do any of this. We have to look at sin for what it is and how it impacts us. And so this is a result of it. And so I'm happy for the Savannah Church that you are able to do this. And I applaud you for your efforts this morning right here.
And
May God
I
keep.
want to ask one question to both Raima and Tanik, and not so much of a question, but to some listener or viewer that's hearing the conversation right now. What would one word of encouragement be to them while they're listening? Because I noticed that the program encompasses mental health, it's talking about other health checks, it's talking about pausing and reflecting. There are so many areas, but somebody needs to hear just one reason that they can be a part. If you're off overseas, you can still participate. Programs will be streamed as well, but just share with the listener, and then when you return after that answering that question, I want you to just walk with us slowly through the activities starting this weekend to the culmination on Music Day.
You want to go first this time?
Okay, so one reason why they should be a part of the program.
Yes.
So I'm going to personalize it again. Going through life, we have a lot of people, and they always say when you come to the Cayman Islands, you're here just to work. You're here, and you're always tired here. So we have people who are going through difficult moments. We have people who sometimes just feel as though they can't make it. So we're inviting those people who are going through those moments just to stop by online, to stop by at church. And it's a day of rest, it's a day of gladness. That is even one reason to be there, right? To pause from what you're doing and just to come at Savannah on the 29th to experience the wonderful blessing that God will have for you. And you will have that opportunity to pause and to reflect and to pray within the moment and to send up all your requests to our Heavenly Father.
For me, the emphasis is on the fact that God is not an absentee landlord. He is very much a part of all that we experience. And sometimes it's easy to, as we go through testing and trials, to forget that He's still there to comfort, He's still there to guide, and He cares. And so I think it's a powerful time in our experience right now to say, Lord, you're here. What do you want to say to me? What do you want me to know or understand? What do you want to take me from, build me up to? Whatever those answers or questions are, then this is a space to put everything else aside as we are emphasizing the pause and reflect and allow Him to speak to you, because the world can get so noisy, we can get so busy. We don't take time to be still and know that He's God. So take the time to reflect on this God who says, be still and know that I am God.
Amen.
Amazing. So we start off this weekend, right? What are the activities this weekend that we can participate in?
Okay.
And let's start with this weekend.
All right. So
Start from Friday night.
when we look at the entire weekend, we're starting off with the suicide prevention, the mental health aspect of it. And this will be led by our family or mental or health and our youth departments. And they'll take us through persons with experiences, professionals with expertise to help us to identify persons who are not doing so well. And if we're the persons, what we can do, we go through Sabbath and Friday night, from Sabbath, Sunset Friday into Sunset Sabbath with that type of programming. We follow on the Sunday. There's a marching band that will kick off at 4 p.m. by Savannah Meadows and take us all the way back to the church location. We'll have our stage outside, outdoors, because we want it to be something that the community can be a part of. So the Vesper service will be in your face, in earshot of what is happening. If you're driving by, if you're walking by, come over. There'll be health checks. There'll be a prayer booth for those who want to donate. For those persons who are not doing so well in Jamaica, those persons will be there to collect. We'll also have magazines. We'll have refreshments, that kind of thing. And then, of course, we'll have the worship experience where we'll focus on prayer, prophecy, and praise. There'll be a word. there'll be prayer for the different persons who need prayer, individually as well as those of our neighbors in the Caribbean, not just Jamaica, but Cuba and Haiti as well, and parts of Bahamas.
Right.
And I'll leave the other part
Before
of
we
it.
move on to
Mhm.
that, so we're encouraging for the 16th event at the 16th, we're encouraging people to meet at Savannah, and then they'll be transported to Savannah Meadows, and then
yes.
we'll march from Savannah Meadows all the way back to Savannah, and then that's where all the activity will take place,
Yes.
all the health checks and so forth. And then after the 16th, as
We'll take a pause.
yes, we'll take a pause for a week thereabout, and then this will be the 29th will be the next event, which is the Grand Music Day and the camp meeting launch. This would be the first day for our camp meeting. And this, as we said, the music day is a day where we will reflect, sing, pause, praise, and then we'll start off with the camp meeting with the theme is a blaze from friendship to flame, and we'll have 2 power-packed speakers.
And we get a taste of them in the
In
events
the
leading
music
up.
day, right.
So for the Sunday evening, we a taste of the first speaker, and for music day we have a taste of the second speaker,
both
right?
speakers.
So we get to experience them before, so that we know what's coming, because it's such an intense period between now and the end of the year. We want to ensure that all of the events are linked, so that you get the idea that we're one church, we're moving forward, and we need people to know that God cares and He wants to make a difference in your life.
Exactly, and it is always important for us to take, an integrative approach in it, whatever we're doing. So as I was saying, 2 impactful speakers.
Yes,
The first one is Pastor
Nathaniel Powell and Brother Michelle Sampson. 2 powerful speakers. You just have to come out and hear them. Come and get the teasers, whether the Vesper service or the music day, and prepare to be blessed, because the rest of the year plans to be a powerful, powerful time with the Savannah Seventh-day Adventist Church.
The meeting will run from the 29th for 2 weeks, and as usual, we have our rest nights on Thursday. So as Rahima said before, Savannah, the church that never sleeps, which is a bit contradictory, because we're calling you all to what? Pause and rest, right?
And integrated, because we want people to get that. It's a lifestyle. So even in doing what we're doing, we're demonstrating it as well. So there are periods where we're doing and there are periods where we're resting, because we really need to take time to be still and know that He is God.
And it is important for us, amidst all of that, just to balance it out and to prioritize our tasks, to do exactly what we should do from what we shouldn't do, and so forth. But come along, right? A busy period, starting from this weekend all the way down to December 13th.
Yes.
All eyes will be on Savannah Seventh-day Adventist.
And we want you to be a part of it, so feel free to come on over to each and every event. Your space is there for you.
Amen. Come on to Selah, pause, and praise.
I'm excited. So we kick things off this weekend with Vespers and Sabbath service, and of course the march at time to Savannah, probably on Sunday
is 3:45. The buses will transport the persons who are going to be marching up. So feel free to come out if you want to be a part of the march. And once you're back, we'll have some time to pause and have the refreshments. We'll have that for you, so that you are well taken care of throughout, and then you can engage with the different booths that will be present. And as we prepare, go through, and then we'll worship, end the day with recognizing our Lord and our King for who He is, a God who takes care of His own.
And one booth that I would like to personally point out is the prayer booth that we'll be having there. So if you need special prayer, right, if you're going through some situations, right, just come along. We have some powerful prayer warriors at Savannah who will lift up your name and take your name to the throne of grace. So that is a booth that I am looking forward to. So come along if you need special prayers, right? We will have that booth there.
All right, sounds exciting and interesting. And of course, a few of our participants from Cayman's Got Talent should be there as well to minister. And I love the community effort. Can I say congratulations to the team over there at Savannah? The
Amen.
community, that's where the heart of the mission is. I want to say thank you for coming in studio this morning. We indeed are feeling blessed to have our sisters. Yeah, they are family members. They are part of the Flashpoint team, and we certainly enjoy the conversation. We will be sharing this information to everywhere that we go, Mikey G. We have to share it. So we have activities this weekend leading up to the music day. So the conversation will be ongoing. So to our listeners tuned in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and if you're listening on the web radio, www.flashpointmedia.ky. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, the conversation continues right here on the Breakfast Hour. Thank you, Lady Tanique, and thank you,
for having
Rahima.
us.
We certainly enjoyed your company this morning.
Thank you for having us.
I know. I'm excited myself. Of course, I have to add my quota of thank you for joining us this morning as well. Impressive. That's all I'm gonna say. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. And that's what community efforts looks like.
Amen.
Savannah, we go.
I forgot to say that Flashpoint will be with us streaming live on their platform.
We have a slogan here at Flashpoint. Take Flashpoint with you anywhere you go. All right, Savannah SDA Church, and of course it is a very, very important day for us. Our weekend complete with just about everything in there. Our entire week.
Yes, just wanted to let the listeners know, not everybody knows where Savannah is. So
Yes,
just
please tell us where Savannah is, everybody.
point in the right direction.
It's on Shamrock Road,
Next to
Savannah Primary School, close by Wendy's, close by Countryside, Foster.
Tani, why is you know what? Leave it.
I have to point out all of the areas that
The
you know
landmarks.
people
All of the
are.
landmarks that are important.
Exactly. And we're on the main road, so we're really hard to miss. Just don't drive too fast.
And like we said, the stage for the Vespa service will be in the parking lot.
Right.
So once you're passing by, you can't miss
Right.
us.
So the
That's
concept is
what
a parking lot, Vespa praise.
Yes.
Right.
Praise in the parking lot. Hey.
All right.
Thank you guys for coming in. Just remember, guys, it has been a breakfast hour with a difference. Thank you so much. When we come back.
Thank you for having us.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
This November, the Savannah Seventh-day Adventist Church invites you to be a part of something special. The For the Cause Initiative Pre-Music Day activities. It's a movement to serve, uplift, and impact our Savannah community through acts of kindness and compassion. Saturday, November 8th at 4 p.m. Join us at Countryside for our Community Impact Day. Come and connect with neighbors through outreach, care, and service. Then, on November 16th, the mission continues with our marching band community impact walk and vesper program. Enjoy free health checkups, mental health presentations, uplifting music, and inspiring messages, all focused on strengthening body, mind, and spirit. Together, let's make a difference. One heart, one home, and one community at a time. Meet us at the Savannah Seventh-day Adventist Church, 1631 Shamrock Road, Grand Cayman. All these activities lead up to our grand Music Day celebration on November 29th, 2025. Come and join us as we impact the community for the cause.
Wet, but what what good Thursday, tremendous Thursday, terrific Thursday, and I like the idea, Mikey G. We have had conversations of speaking life into circumstances, being optimistic, yes, viewing things in a positive light. And so, even if outside is a little bit um,
Bleak.
over,
A little bleak.
a little bleak,
Mm.
it's like that. You have sometimes when it's very hot, and other times when it's not so hot, and sometimes we need the rain as much as we need the sunshine. Agree?
As Tanik earlier says, I think it's Roman said that we have the seasons all through the year just the same, even when you live in the tropics.
Yes.
You still have those seasons changing. The autumn, winter, summer, spring, all of the above actually happens and occurs constantly throughout our lives, and allow us to experience this, even when it's not damningly cold, or we can get it very hot at some point, but not too cold. You know what I realized though, Lady Elise, is that in the tropics, as the temperature drops 75 degrees, we are cold like ice. But if you're in some other places across the world where the temperature drops at 30 degrees and 40, 75 is like summer. It's a strange thing to see. I just wanted to share that with you. I thought I would share this morning.
I understand, Mikey G. And so this morning we had the privilege of welcoming representatives from the Savannah Seventh-day Adventist Church with us right here on the breakfast hour. But it's time for us to hear what's happening not only in Cayman but the rest of the world. It's time for our news, Mikey G, and we do have a feature sharing activities happening in Jamaica,
Yes. So I guess when we come back from the news, then we will talk a little bit about that.
sharing actual
Footage.
footage
Yes.
of
Yes.
persons,
The devastation of what took place and how persons are being helped or not being helped.
rebuilding.
Rebuilding process. Okay.
Lasco One and Up now has ARA, DHA, and prebiotics. It's a new, smarter formula. The time by Lasco One and Up is...
It's 19 minutes past 8 right here in the Grand Cayman.
Of course, it's news time.
It is Thursday, 13th November, and these are the news roundup on Flashpoint Radio's Breakfast Hour. I'm Corley Karen. Police hunt armed robbers after long weekend hold-ups. Police are searching for 3 armed suspects after a string of robberies over the long weekend in Georgetown and West Bay. The first incident happened just after 2 p.m. on Friday, 7th November, when 2 men, one armed with what appeared to be a handgun, tried to rob a business on Commercial Way in Georgetown. The staff member on duty managed to escape into a secure room, and the suspects fled empty-handed. Shortly afterwards, a similar incident was reported at a business on Kennedy Drive, also in Georgetown. 2 men, again with what appeared to be a handgun, robbed the occupants of cash and then reportedly attempted to rob a pedestrian walking along Kennedy Drive before leaving on a motorcycle. The 2 suspects in those incidents were described as masked and wearing high-visibility construction-style shirts. Then, on Sunday 9th November, a masked man armed with a machete robbed a business on Watercourse Road, West Bay, around 7:15 p.m. He wore a black jacket and red shorts, took cash, and escaped in a white vehicle. Police say no one was injured in any of the robberies and are appealing for witnesses or anyone with CCTV or dash cam footage to come forward. Stamp duty rule. Opposition slams secrecy over tax hike. Shadow Finance Minister Roy McTaggart has criticized the government over what he calls secrecy surrounding plans to raise stamp duty on high-end properties. The 2-year budget relies on an extra $172 million in revenue from various fees increases, but full details have not yet been published. McTaggart told Parliament the National Coalition for Caymanians had delivered a tax, borrow and spend budget that was woefully short on detail, particularly on which property values will be classed as high-end and what new stamp duty rate will apply. A government press release suggests a higher stamp duty rate will apply to properties over $2 million, but neither Premier Andre Ibans nor Finance Minister Ralston Anglin have confirmed the threshold or the rate in the House. Currently, most property transfers attract a 7.5% one-time stamp duty with concessions for first and second-time Caymanian buyers. McTaggart also warned that government is taking on, quote, levels of debt never seen before, with $236 million in new borrowing and total debt projected to reach $634 million by the end of 2027. Minister Anglin defended the plans, saying the fee increases are not aimed at the average Caymanian and that borrowing is comparable to a household mortgage, funding long-term assets such as roads and schools. He said detailed revenue measures and enabling legislation would be released in the days ahead. Opposition blasts minister's budget silence. The opposition is also raising concerns over what it calls a major break from parliamentary tradition. The People's Progressive Movement says that during the budget debate, most ministers did not present speeches outlining their plans for how they will spend their allocations, with the exception of District Administration and Home Affairs Minister Nick DaCosta. The party says this has left the public in the dark about how government intends to use its $2.5 billion budget and called it a troubling violation of convention. Opposition leader Joey Hugh also criticized the lack of clear funding or timelines to address two long-running environmental concerns: the Georgetown landfill, which he says is bursting at the seams, and the erosion of 7 Mile Beach, which he called, quote, our brand or livelihood and a national treasure. Hugh renewed calls for transparency on the stalled Regen Waste to Energy project and proposed a dedicated coastal resilience fund funded from tourism revenue to support beach protection, mangroves, and reefs. Government says ministers will be fully scrutinized during Finance Committee, where members can question them line by line on spending. Minister Anglin insists there is nothing improper about ministers opting not to speak in the main debate. Public mental health meeting set for Thursday. The Mental Health Commission and the Poinciana Mental Health Advisory Council are inviting the public to a community meeting today, Thursday, 13th November, to discuss the future of mental health care in Cayman. The event takes place at 6 p.m. at Constitutional Hall in Georgetown. Health Minister Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes says mental health is, quote, an essential part of our national well-being, and that the meeting will give residents a chance to hear about plans to strengthen services and affordability, priorities for an aging and changing population, and oversight at Poinciana Rehabilitation Center. Chair Fiona McDougall says mental health works best when, quote, it is built with the people it serves, end quote. Presentations will be followed by a public Q&A and refreshments will be provided. Cayman pays tribute to pastor and daughter killed in crash. Tributes are pouring in for evangelist Pastor Alexander Worm and his daughter Serena after the pair were killed in a plane crash in Coral Springs, Florida on Monday while flying hurricane relief supplies to Jamaica. Worm, 53, founded the Ignite the Fire ministry in Cayman. Serena was 22. Premier Andre Ebanks said the country is, quote, shocked and dismayed, end quote, by their loss and praised Worm's remarkable contribution to the community. Friends and colleagues described him as passionate, generous, and tireless in his service, using his Beechcraft King Air aircraft to fly in supplies like water filters and Starlink communication kits to communities hit by Hurricane Melissa. Health Minister Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes called him, quote, a true example of a servant evangelist, end quote, adding that she praised the fire he ignited in Cayman will continue to burn bright. Worm is survived by his wife Candice and children James and Christina. Cold front brings rough seas and marine warning. Boaters are being urged to use caution today as a cold front or norther passes through the Cayman area. The National Weather Service has issued a marine watch for 12th November with seas forecast at 8 to 10 feet and strong winds expected as cooler air passes in from North America. While temperatures here will remain warm, the front could bring heavy showers, thunderstorms, and large waves, particularly along exposed coastlines. Historically, strong northwesters have caused coastal damage and vessel groundings in Cayman, especially when normally calm western shores become rough. Residents and boat operators are advised to monitor forecasts and avoid risky marine activity until conditions improve. And now to regional and international news. CDB backs new digital network for Caribbean entrepreneurs. The Caribbean Development Bank has approved a US $250,000 grant to support a new regional initiative for entrepreneurs, the Rev Up Founders Growth and Community Support Network. Run by Rev Up Caribbean, the program will create a digital ecosystem offering mentorship and coaching, investor access through First Angels Caribbean, governance and pitch coaching sessions, and a vetted network of founders, advisors, and service providers. CDB's Lisa Harding says development banks, accelerators, and investors must work together to help Caribbean businesses scale and compete globally. The network builds on RevUp's incubator, which has already supported 145 founders, created 131 jobs, and generated over US $1 million in extra revenue, with women-led businesses leading the way. St. Vincent PM vows court fight over opposition dual citizenship. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says the issue of opposition candidates holding Canadian citizenship will be taken to court following nomination day for the 27th November general election. Gonsalves argues that opposition leader Dr. Goodwin Friday and East Kingstown candidate Fitz Bramble, both Vincentian-born but naturalized as Canadians, may be disqualified under the Constitution, which bars MPs who have, by their own voluntary act, acknowledged allegiance to a foreign power. He cited a precedent involving former St. Kitts Nevis Prime Minister Denzel Douglas, whose possession of a Dominican diplomatic passport was ruled evidence of such allegiance. Friday says his nomination was accepted and has dismissed the objections as, quote, dirty tricks, telling supporters that any real contest should be at the ballot box on 27th November. UK government defends BBC as Trump threatens lawsuit. Those were your news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. We urge you to continue to stay tuned for more updates throughout the day.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
conversation here in the Breakfast Hour. We want to thank you for sticking and staying with us. How are you doing? I know we have listeners that are all over the world. I want to say a big hello to Marie up there in Canada and our other VIP members stretched all across Cayman, US, UK, Jamaica, and beyond. Over there in St. Lucia, we say good morning to you. What's happening in your neck of the woods? Now, center and front stage is, of course, recovery in the countries that have been affected by Melissa. Now, I had a conversation with my mom yesterday, Mikey G,
Mm.
and she said she has never in all her years seen anything like this. Of course, my older sister was interviewing her. She was like, "What were you doing? What?" And she said, "The howling of the wind. It was something that she has never heard before." I remember having a conversation with someone who experienced Ivan, and I remember she said to me, I almost went outside because I thought it was a child crying. The sound of the wind was so much, you know. So,
I was a
I,
part of this one this time, the Ivan story is a story that I can identify with,
yes,
because I was the Ivan came when I was a youngster, and would be in the middle of that. My parents would be abroad traveling, and it would be two of us at home, me and my other brother, my older brother.
was that with Gilbert?
Sorry, not Ivan, Gilbert. That's Gilbert. I have just messed up that one. But let me go with it. Let me go with this. So it was not Ivan, but Gilbert. Ivan came afterwards. Just
Not
20 years ago.
2004, yes.
20 years ago, Ivan came. Gilbert is 1988, and so I get to be in the Gilbert experience. That was
Yeah,
one of the most devastating storm for the island of Jamaica for a long, long time.
yes.
And Melissa comes and tops it at this time. For the Cayman Islands, Ivan was the danger for the Cayman Islands, while it was at 30 miles outside of the coast of Jamaica, basically devastated. It blew down my tree in my yard. I tell you, it blew down my what's it called, my guinea tree. I had a lovely guinea tree in the side beside my house, and it blew it down completely. And I feel bad over it up until this day.
But as we make the comparison, I read recently the death toll from Gilbert was 45 persons. And at that time, I didn't know that there was so much loss of life then.
In the Gilbert situation, because we never heard about the deaths that was reported.
Yes, and now the death toll for Melissa has surpassed that. And if we should even think about that father and daughter, such a sad item of news, Mikey G. They were bringing relief items, and they, of course, are connected here in Cayman. Religious organization, Ignite the Flame, and they were in the process of delivering items to Jamaica, and unfortunately, their plane went down. Father and daughter both lost their lives, and that is something so sad. And when you think about these things happening, you will ask the question, Michael G. I do ask the question, why? I do ask that
And the
question.
question is not just why, Lady Elise, is why God, why? Are we blaming God for it, We are saying, God, you are the one responsible for these things. And everybody who don't even know anything about um, having a God factor, they are atheists and they blame God too. They don't believe in God, but they blame him anyhow. You know. I would say to those persons, that just as a reminder of why. All right, so let's get into some of the videos and see some of the side scenes of what really took place. We're looking at the Maroon Town video. Let's take a look at that one. See where we go from there. Let's see.
That's rebuilding over there in our town.
These are the men covering the Maroon Town Health Clinic. The roof was blown off by Hurricane Melissa, and they're covering the clinic so it can function to help the people in the Maroon Town Vaughansville area. Thanks to the Samaritan Purse who have donated these top for such a time like this. All right, Lady Elise, I'm just taking a look at that. You know, it tells a message, tells a story. You know, of so much. All right, let's get to the next video, and let's see what's still going on. Let's go to the next video. And of course, this is Seaford Town. This is Westmoreland.
Drive through, yeah.
You know, I know I used to have people living in Seaford Town. I have well, yes, not Seaford Town, Lambs River actually, Lambs River. I know of persons living in Lambs River.
No, I don't know if when you continue the journey, when you look at this, it seems so unreal, Mikey G. It's almost like a video from not one of those movies that I would like to watch.
It's utter devastation. That's what you're looking at. It's a horror movie. It's a horror movie, ladies. It is something that Jamaica or nowhere in the Caribbean has seen. I remember Bahamas. There's an island in Bahamas that got a tsunami that 30 feet of water washed it away basically. So I could say that this is something that other persons have experienced in a different way. I remember a tsunami in China that hit down large buildings, killing thousands of persons, hundreds of persons in that city. I remember stuff like that. We are looking at a devastation in Jamaica from a hurricane that no one has ever seen anything like this before. But as we contemplate the idea of pestilence and rumors of war and all the things, a prediction that coming true biblically, while people don't want to hear anything about Bible anymore, because as of this moment, Bible is one of the most hated books on the planet. The Bible is one of the most hated books on the planet right now, ladies. And nobody wants to hear anybody talking too much about no Bible, and all these things anymore. Just leave this Bible and God thing out of it. Don't tell us about this thing. But for those who understood this thing before it started, we knew the prophecies that would come true, that in the end time, perilous time will come. Men shall run to and fro, not knowing where to go and how to understand it. I don't know. I think this is where our program has ended, at this point. It is something that we have to pay some attention to. But
yes, we have had such a wonderful morning, Mikey G. It has been a refreshing one. I want to thank all our listeners. I said good morning to Lady Lucy. I didn't even see that she had said the good morning Flashpoint family over there in St. Lucia.
Good morning, Lady Lucy. She called me the other day, Lady Elise, and she said to me, she sent a text message or sent a voice note and says, I see somebody asking me to accept their friend request on Facebook, and it says it is you, but you don't have any picture up. I said, yes, it is me. I don't have any picture up. Please accept it. I want to say good morning to Miss Lucy, Sister Lucy this morning in St. Lucia. Good morning to you and your family. I hope that you are all well, and trust and hope that you'll keep safe during this volatile time and seasons, that is happening. We are outside of the hurricane season, but don't forget that there are other things that can happen. Tornadoes still exist. We still have earthquakes and all these things coming up. So we are not out of the woodwork by no means or measure.
And just to be clear, Mikey G, hurricane season officially ends on the 30th of November. Yeah.
So we still have hope yet to get a big hurricane now. Oh my word. All right, let's not speak too loudly. All right, I want to say thank you guys for joining us this morning for this experience this morning, right here on the Flashpoint at the breakfast hour. And of course, for those who have joined us this morning, welcome. And of course, if you just joined us for the first time, I thank you for joining today. Of course, remember, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell that whenever one of these programs comes up, you get it first. Our web radio continues to play all day today. Of course, remember, the Link Up comes up later on in the afternoon at 2 o'clock, right about until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It is about our web radio, and of course, you can find us on www.flashpointmedia.ky. Go there, find Flashpoint, and listen to Flashpoint all day, everywhere you go. Of course, our slogan, as we said earlier, is take Flashpoint with you wherever you go. That's what I have to say. Lady Elise.
I want to use this opportunity to say thank you for all those who have come on board in the relief efforts to Jamaica. I want to say thank you for those doing small things behind the scenes. There are people who are packing their little boxes, sending off stuff. There are persons who are holding concerts, fundraising events. I want to thank every single person who have reached out, not only to persons in Jamaica, but persons who have been affected in Cuba, Dominican Republic, parts of Bahamas, and other areas. We have no control over what happens, but how we respond, we have control over that. And I would encourage you to try and look at the sunny side and let your optimism shine through.
Elise, thank you so much for this morning's experience. Just talking about that just now, we see persons, we are asking the question, how would you want to affect this change in the crisis that is happening? And of course, we have looked at the idea of adopting a family, each person adopting, find a family to adopt and see if you can work with even one family to see if you can really help to relieve some of the stress and the anxiety that they're having. And this is one of the ways that Flashpoint is actually helping. And this is how we are going, our approach is to adopt a family or adopt families across and allowing other persons, inviting them to join with us in solidarity to also adopt a family and work with a family. And so this is what we'll personalize it a little more. Not just throw the boxes out there and anybody grab for it and run and just chuck off and find the food. And but find a family, adopt a family. Seek and find somebody who you think you can work with. And if you can do 5-10 families, if you are capable of doing that, go right on ahead. Because I've seen people adopt more than 5 children at a time.
Yes, and I also, before we get out, want to say happy belated birthday to Flo Whitaker.
The barrio, the man himself. Yes, Mr. Whitaker, good morning to you as well.
Mrs. Whitaker celebrated her birthday.
Mrs. Whitaker celebrated the birthday? Okay, all right.
Yes, so I want to wish her all the best from the Flashpoint team here. And I hope that you'll have many
well,
more.
if you're going to go and celebrate the birthday, you have to say a good morning to the Cayman Islands Conference of Seventh-day Adventists and all the friends, because the husband works there. And then you have to say to all the persons, that's Daki Plus, which is yes, Daki Plus, where she works, and of course she is one of the blessed ones in the Cayman Islands. Work at such an establishment. So I want to say big up the Daki Plus crew this morning, the team at Daki Plus Immigration Services right here in the Grand Cayman Islands. Flo, good morning to you, and of course, did you know that Flo is a friend of mine before she came to the Cayman Islands? All right. So I'm looking at friend status right now, friendship status right here, family status. So
I do wish her all the best, and just a reminder too that Flash Talks, the uncut edition, happens later this evening at 7:30, and we will be featuring participants in Cayman's Got Talent. You don't want to miss it.
Well, for those who missed came After Dark with Mario last night, Mikey G and Lady Elise was up last night. She talked last night. Lady Elise, we were talking last night. And so we really appreciate you talking last night. When we were up last night, 10 o'clock in the night, I'm telling you, it was a good conversation. We had some real topics coming up out of the conversation. It went everywhere it could possibly carry it, and it did something. After Dark with Mario happened last night, and we had a wonderful time. I was saying, I'm going to wake up this morning for the breakfast hour. How am I going to wake up this morning to do the breakfast hour this morning? But guess what? We are here again. And of course, thank you for joining us once again for this episode. Of course, continues to play all days our web radio on www.flashpointmedia.ky. We are here in the Grand Cayman Islands. Of course, we are all across the world. Our VIP members in the US of A and Canada, Caribbean people, Jamaica, and the Grand Cayman Islands. Good morning to you. Welcome, and of course, thank you for supporting Flashpoint Media. Have yourself a good day, guys.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, we'll all sing there outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours Are we part of this circus? Is it innate? Feels like a heavy burden, but I can't relate.
You're listening to Flashpoint, the family radio.
Have yourself a Flashpoint day. Start your breakfast the Flashpoint way and cruise through lunch and then to dinner. With Flashpoint Radio. Flashpoint Radio is a class. Flashpoint Radio for gospel, inspiration, motivation, and meditation. Anywhere you go, take Flashpoint with you. Flashpoint Radio in a class.